The Last Voyage of the Demeter is here on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray, released by Shout Factory. It can be found as the slipcover edition, available at your online retailers. I've always enjoyed movies based on Dracula or vampires in general. I thought that creating a film based solely off the voyage of Dracula on the Demeter was an intriguing premise. Ultimately, I think it was executed fairly well as far as atmosphere goes. I give that top marks. Some of the story and characters, though, didn't quite work for me. It's mostly just Hollywood being Hollywood stuff, but I think as a whole it's entertaining enough. The Last Voyage of the Demeter on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray has an aspect ratio of 239:1. It was finished at a 4K digital intermediate, and it supports both HDR10 and Dolby Vision. For purposes of this review, I will be discussing the Dolby Vision transfer. Shout Factory's 4K transfer of the film is everything you'd expect a modern, digitally shot movie to look like on the format. Admittedly, it's a little jarring for me personally to watch a movie of this genre and have it look this clean. It's certainly not a slight on the transfer itself, far from it, but having just come from watching Nosferatu, I prefer the more filmic shooting style in that movie. Once again, it's just my preference. Voyage's transfer boasts an exceptionally clean picture from start to finish. The bit rates are very strong, often hitting the century mark for a good duration of the film. The disc's encode is solid with no noticeable image quality dips. Details and textures produce nearly razor-sharp clarity on screen. Close-ups of live elements look marvelous and offer lifelike visibility. Sure, some of the CGI elements stand out a bit here and there, but that's par for the course with films that utilize those aspects. Both HDR and Dolby Vision are available and do manage to produce bolder colors. Keep in mind, this is not inherently a colorful film, as a good duration of the movie takes place at sea and most of the time is spent during the nighttime hours. The opening sequence at port and a handful of scenes while the ship is at sea during the day look nicer with the grading overall. Highlights in the form of a torch or fire do exhibit a nice bit of flourish. Now, the thing I was most curious about in regard to the 4K was how Dolby Vision would handle black levels in this digitally shot transfer. I'm happy to say very well and relatively problem-free. The creepy dark interior of the ship stays faithfully true to the tone and doesn't exhibit any blotchiness or macro blocking. In addition, shadow detail is firmly on point, and I didn't really see any signs of crush during my viewing. The Last Voyage of the Demeter on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray supports a Dolby Atmos audio mix, which folds down to a Dolby True HD 7.1. There is also a 5.1 and 2.0 options. For owners of the previous Blu-ray, the same Dolby Atmos track is ported over for this new 4K release. For audiophiles, this is a finely immersive experience. The use of surrounds often contains audio cues from within the ship itself, the creaking wood and other sounds one might experience if aboard a vessel such as this one. There's also a multitude of weather effects such as rain, and let's not forget the creepy goings-on from the film's antagonist. Height channels are a plethora of activity and prominently feature unique audio cues, especially when the creature takes flight, and the use of dynamic range makes his travels much more interesting. Add in the constant rain effects, the crashing of rough waves, and once again the interior sounds of the ship. This will give Atmos owners plenty of reason to look up. Dialogue reproduction is crisp and clear with no issues to report in this area. The LFE offers some very robust moments and certainly doesn't disappoint. The aforementioned crashing of the waves, the knocking of the ship, and other hard-hitting calamities that befall the crew of the Demeter are impactful and give the sub a good workout. Most of the extras from the previous Universal release have ported over here, but there is an additional new audio commentary which joins the existing ones from the Blu-ray, and a new Shout Factory produced short with Dr. Karen Salznow about the vampire lore as it pertains to the film and its sources in literature and history. It runs about 20 minutes, and it's a good insight and background for fans to dive into. For the picture quality, I'm going to give The Last Voyage of the Demeter on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray an A. Overall, the transfer for the film is one that I think will please most fans, as it enjoys solid image stability, a nice boost of colors, and perfectly dialed in black levels. While owners of the Blu-ray might not find a huge upgrade here, I think for new buyers, this is the way to go. For the audio, I scored it an A as well. The Dolby Atmos is a delightful, energetic mix that is very entertaining in its use of audio cues. I think if you're someone who enjoys a robust mix in your monster movies, this one will certainly not disappoint. And for the extras, I graded them an A-. The mix of both new and old content should be pleasing for those interested in supplements. There is a good variety available here and worth checking out. So that is my review of The Last Voyage of the Demeter on 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray from Shout Factory. If you're interested in picking up a copy for yourself, I'll leave a direct Amazon link in the comment section, but if you have the disc already, let me know your thoughts down below. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.